Famulan, we'll take time for welcoming them to another edition of the program, the Economic Forum. We come to them every Sunday at exactly 7 at Star Television. So we broadcast live from Media One Center, 3 Mama Street, Brookfields, Freetown. Mina Abdurrahman Kamara. My guest now the studio, I get members of the Sierra Leone Institution of Geo-Scientists, where they call SLAGE. Now, a professional organization we register with the Corporate Affairs Commission for undertake the activities. I get with me the president of SLAGE, Mr. Salim Sela. Mr. Salim Sela Famule Madu.
Famule, good evening.
I get Abubakar Bangura, the head of research committee at the SLAGE.
Famule, good evening.
Then I get Mabinti Sese, head of membership committee.
Famule, good evening.
There's them people and I get them at the studio. I get them today for we can talk on a very important aspect. We, as part of the mandates and the core activity, they've been taught and fit yesterday for visit the regent community, especially soon at the Motome. And then therefore tell we the purpose of the visit the Sugarloaf, the Mount Sugarloaf. Then would relate the observation. And we get so many other things we get to talk about on these, including SLAGE, the formation of SLAGE, and how they intend for actually contribute towards the growth and development of the country. Last, bring you come inside the president of SLAGE, Mr. Salim Sela. Yesterday, I see a fairly good number of membership in visit the Motome at the Mount Sugarloaf. What's the purpose of the visit?
Thank you very much, Mr. Abdurrahman Kamara, for giving the opportunity. You don't do it so many times. We thank you once more for this. Actually, family, we decided for going to Motome yesterday after several social media interpretation of something we get for do with geological thing, and people they pass this picture for do with crack na Motome and all these things. All man they get in your own interpretation, but basically we know saying a geological phenomenon. We as an institution, the only professional institution, we able to unravel those things and make the family really understand why those cracks they happen, and when they happen, waiting then can result to. So we decide as an institution for go do a research. And on our make we see waiting at the extent, and like always I do explain, so but also will be also one for know waiting again for lead to not only Motome but for the greater part of Freetown, because there are two reasons why those cracks then can be where we get interesting. One, as a result of the waterway they come on at the hill where they make gutter, because gutter they all over the street and at Freetown. But we say the hills, then they will find out they get them small gutter them, because the water they not get any control for run. So we have no whether na the rainway they come, then they form those cracks until na water road. But also we get a more disturbing one. We want if not that than a geologically controlled lineament, what we call faulting. Faulting now we some part of the ground, I would just say of the earth, they split, then you can get different forms of movement. And depending on the type of movement, now in the lead to the sort of destruction where it will take place. So one for determine whether na faulting or na just erosional valley, then small gutter or can see na then normal hill then. So one for know that, and they also a landslide be happen where many people don't know. A small landslide happened the day before yesterday for early morning yesterday. We also we assess that and we want to know the scale, the extent, and we also want to know if this landslide happen, how many other landslides will happen, when the next landslide will possibly be. So then now we don't feel now some of them, they were my colleagues then they didn't say go throw light on some other aspects.
Okay, well let bring the picture very close to the audience and make them get a better understanding as to how the ground will look like when I've been visit the place. Make a go over the other studio to make technician, make it just give me a picture of what will really happen, how the situation day number 2 made. Okay, Fambul, you were in a house. This na the situation where they happen right up na Tomena regions. Usai in 2016 we be experiencing a mudslide. Well, yes, still again as a nation we still baffled. We don't get the accurate cause of event. What be happen? What be the real cause? What be happen at that place? So many suggestions, so many interpretations. Somebody can tell you say na an earthquake, other one can tell you say now. So everybody just guess about. But we, as we say, we actually get people in there. We get a clear knowledge on their own feel for actually tell we and guide we as a nation how we need to move. Mr. Mangula, bring you come inside. Yesterday, Mr. Siladom give a brief as to waiting inform on a visit. But one key thing where perhaps people want to know, what are some of the causes of a mudslide? What really the precipitate a mudslide?
Well, the causes of mudslide, there are several. At times it can be human actions. There are times if dirty don't dey na hill, then that dirty the gradient of the hill can increase by one reason or another. Then that dirty dey suck water. When the water don't suck inside the dirty don't heavy. If they try for don't go down the hill for let reduce the weight we don't settle on itself. So if you ask wetin na the cause of mudslide, the reasons then go difficult, then go boku reasons then go cause them. But one thing wetin I want me family then know them can say mudslide. Now like we dirty thing up on top of a hill, then rain soak am, it heavy tay, you know able to gather himself again, a roll for down the hill. Now that one then na the mudslide and the causes then now then go different. Some take it in at the ground and the shake, some take it in at we not amend with your action. Some take it back again, some tell like some places then they now like close you get a dam, you keep water there for long. The water in weight, they kind of like weigh on the dirty way they under the all land they cause the dirty for fear.
Okay. As members of the Sierra Leone Institution of Geo-Scientists, when we have been make a visit at the place yesterday, what are some of our observations?
Well, the one thing we do appreciate now the fact say the locals and don't very sensitive now to when something happen and they're ready for call and like for call people their attention.
Okay.
So like when they call we attention, we go there. And when we go there, we decide for take a walk from like down Regent roundabout. Come up the hill, pass through the Guma tank and go to the side the actual the dirty for them. Because you know go just go look inside the dirty for them and able relate them. We don't kind of like they try for put together a report where ONS don't request for like law we do a presentation. So like one like law we complete that work day and give the presentation to ONS so that like the too much rumors then say go down. Like now so long we no can talk something now, then it go appear now somebody sometimes just listen just that small part panel. We not don't confirm it some of their findings and they we not don't compare we notes them to other people they will can inform people them. But waiting no more, we take a walk along the whole area. We even notice self like even like that Regent, that drainage where they by that Regent roundabout. It don't full up with sand right now and silt. So anytime small rain come, that water they jump go na that street day and full up that place day. So like all them findings and they would put them together and present we report we get for give to ONS where the president get for do the presentation very soon.
Okay. Let's bring Mabinti Sese. Mabinti, you know the head of the membership committee of the Sierra Leone Institution of Geo-Scientists. The question is, when somebody can be part of a professional body, it can just come, it can just opt for come, or una can do due diligence for ensure say it meet up to certain criteria.
Yeah, Pambule, good evening again. Where you want join the membership as a whole, we get for verify you. We get for see you match up to the professional standards. Even though we get other membership where we can call associated members them, where you go will be one of the professionals them, but because of your experience na the MDAs them, and you don't do similar work them na certain institution, you go come be an associate members. But for a pure professional person wey really for be one of the geoscientists na we institution, we get for verify all the documents dem for see say you dey one of the professional wings dem. Like you can be a geographer, you can be a geologist, you can be an engineer for make you be one of the members dem. Then according to the cadre, you for don spend some certain years of experience for make you be a fellow or be an ordinary member. We can even encourage we students them now for Kobe College and other institution like Jala, if you dey do environment, for make you can join. For the meantime, we'll call you a graduate or we can call you a student, depending on whether if you're a graduate or you still the college.
Okay. So the membership is huge.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Silla, I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you, Madam Aminsi. The question of on observation, Mr. Bangura don't talk of some of the causes of the mudslide. They say it can happen, say erosion, it can happen, say some different things. But over the years, we don't see, especially say in 2016, when we get this huge devastation, we don't get any professional body way inform as to the cause of action, what it really precipitates, what it happened in 2015. It left the general public dumbfounded, so many speculation. It depends on whether you talk to somebody who tells you an earthquake. Well, me we don't know anything on geology, perhaps I will accept. Other one they tell you say, well, not to earthquake, not this, not that, and all the rest of it. We don't get any story way inform we as to what really happened. We go shape the future, what we need for do as a nation. Because if we don't begin to see the similar cracks there, if an NCL we don't see in 2016, when it floats on the social media, we don't see how the ground on crack. You see some rocks and they split. Hey, now a clear indication say perhaps something bigger is on the way. I bring the question to you.
Thank you very much, and it's a very important question, and I will answer in two different ways. And SLIG, when this landslide happened, I think the first set of organization or institution where you do a scientific report on na SLIG. The way it happened, we go there in 2-3 hours. We already don't get a report, a short report, 2-page report. I see on a UNDP report all over global report and the reference to report. But it is the kind of country where a prophet is not respected in his home.
Okay.
So people then they feel for differentiate between geologist and engineer. A geologist is not an engineer is not a geologist. And we overlap, but we do not do each other's work. So basically in a day the link missing. So it's like they say you get elephantiasis outbreak, you come with plane full of surgeons, then just they amputate, and you left the pathologist then for able to define why the elephantiasis they even happen. So now in cause this problem. So you don't take up to 2 years, everybody's running all over the place. They are not inviting the geologist to any meeting, except one meeting will go ONS by accident, where probably they're not even realizing we are SLIG, we are the same geologists, so people in the reference all over the world for 1-2 page report what we do. But they never invited us to any meeting for say like SLIG. These are the geologists. So when it comes to the earth, the geologists then are the pathologists then. Anything they do with disaster, as long as it's related to the and when are the pathologists, we go able to tell you what are the causes. Then the engineers then will come for tell you how to remedy those situations. But then left the people then for telling the causes, everybody is running around and try to solve the problem. So it's gonna happen so many times because we don't know what are the causes. So that make now we don't decide say most of the works that we individuals and do then publish them on research paper. I recognize international journals. People then out of SLIG, we get maybe 3 or 4 different people that don't publish the international scientist groups then. So, but this time around, I think ONS understands that we go there, Now probably na that na the reason why then this time around they invite we for say them go and see what we do and what our findings. So which relate to the previous landslide where it happened during we own findings that we do a report. It quite popular even though people don't know like call we names they say now we do them. So you get different factors that what way Mr. Bangura don't explain. The retention capacity, it's like you soil normally gets a capacity. Now, like if you get sponge, if you continue for drop water on sponge, 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, if you ace the sponge, so no water need the leak. It the whole But if you continue for put it, they get to the point where in the sponge don't take so much water that you need able to take anymore. So if you put one they drop. You put one they drop because you don't pass mark in what we call a retention capacity. So now so swell self time. So if you continue for put water, they get to the point where in the person way total way now at the rock, the underlying rock, you go say no, this weight you don't too much, man, I no go able this. So the best is they offload the stress. Now we call stress, it offload down. So now that make people then they see these cracks and all these things. We call those cracks stress, and as stress and cracks then we call them tension gashes in geology. Okay, where something though you don't stress, even human being, if you don't stress and get to the point that it explode, you're not able to take it any longer. So you don't compress the soil, the stress above, the weight on the sides, you don't too much, then definitely you get for explode. So the soil self it stressed on too much, then they cause those cracks. But waiting they lead to those cracks now we get for do now the presentation what they do for ONS. But one thing definitely what we observe also, where it look concerning, where some of we, even among these Geo-Scientists organization, we get two different views. Some of we believe say we get a tectonically controlled activity where it caused the landslide where it happened in 2017. Okay, so if I say tectonically controlled, it meaning now something where deep seated probably hundreds and hundreds of kilometers below. Where now from there this thing not happen, but it trigger from underneath the ground where it not necessarily get influence of human activity. Okay. One thing I need people to understand is human being not able to control major landslide. It's impossible. What a human being go do is we able be a major contributor for make you initiate landslide, but we're not able to prevent her. If you don't ready for calm, there is nothing you could do. You either get for move from the way of the landslide, make it be there, go save people as we use for doing here. That's the best we could do. So some of we believe say you get a geological factor, because if you look at the way it happened, you get 4 landslides where they happen. But people are know all about Montome because I in kill. But if we look at scientific journals, there you will see say you get 3 other landslides. Okay, one happened at battles before the major one they happened. People didn't report that because there was no fatality. Then you get the Motome, main Motome one, but after Motome, you get another hill after and where there was a landslide. The same line, you get another hill after that where there was a landslide. And there is no human settlement there. So how did they happen? A human being? No, it's not human being. So, but SLIG will get limitation because we are not funded, as people don't want to recognize us, who we are. We they do all of these things so we do not sacrifice. Me a private individual, they do my own private thing, like Mr. Bangura, so my being to work for the government, okay, through geological surveys. So we membership, they will get people, they will get professors, couple of professors, we get a lot of doctors in different disciplines, geophysicists, we get hydrogeologists, we get all sorts of PhD holders. So we have researchers. So we contribute, we come together for do something. For example, yesterday we go study this fracture. We're not able to conclude we research properly because we didn't take drone. We need the assistance of drone for able to put some of the facts then together. But because of the weather, we're not able to do it. And also people are surprised. The community says, it's a way people that can car, but they need to work on the rain. Well, that's what the geoscientists do. Because some of the observations that we'll be able, what we need for make, we only need for make away the rain. If we not do it now, dry season is meaningless.
Okay.
So we need for work under the rain where they cause those disasters. So we've been there under rain for the whole day yesterday, and people saying like, this guy, what are they doing? Why are they walking on the rain? So now, so we they do with activities, but without funding, we'll get limitation as to what thing we go able to do. But as we they go along, we they take now the bull by its horn. We need to wait for people for call we any longer. We they do and we publish on an international journal. Probably the one see we the more than the nation one for recognized way.
Okay, Mr. Bangura, I'll bring you come to. Let we situate this then two things here. We don't talk of mudslide. How this can relate to flooding. We see what happened in August 2nd. The kind rain, the devastation we left is very huge. Are the two interrelated?
They're interrelated sort of, because when a mudslide happen, it release a large number of volume of dirty into water, and that large volume of dirty wey they introduce into that river they cause that shock wave, and that shock wave they cause the water in level for rise, and when the water in level rise, places they will not be they get water, automatically they begin get water. Then also the mud of itself we get for slide, it get for like some of our way not too heavy, the water get for take her along. So when the water take her along, it go and cause the flooding, where they go and cause the destruction. So like if you watch like what happen the 2017 mudslide, you find out say up to Engine na Malama, up to down na Juba Bridge, we find out say big stone them they go and cause the destruction.
Yes.
Because the land don't cut, it don't come for down inside the main river channel. It don't cause like this high volume of water. So they drag all that mud there with them, and that mud then and they go and cause the flooding, or they go and cause the destruction. And also the other thing again waiting now and they can cause, or like let's say sedimentation can cause this artificial flooding. Where the sand don't full up the gutter, where the water one pass now, they claim go outside for Fanny Road for go. So that one day now waiting they happen now, if now hosting up along the way, the water they go and Fanny Road. So like if you ask if mudslide they cause flooding, or like sedimentation of them gutters or siltation they cause flooding, and that one day like will be the explanation. Where you don't full up the gutter outside the water for pass, the water for fanning way. And where they fanning way now, and they go and cause the condition where me and you they call flooding.
Okay. Mabinsi, we look generally at the landscape of Freetown. Yeah. People like say we no longer safe. Like every part of the city is disaster prone. Yeah. As a geologist, when I don't put any study where perhaps go help the government for inform them what next to be done generally on the landscape.
Well, I'm not aware of that, but we officially, like we within at the Institute of Geo-Scientists, we they do very hard work for make we able for do the kind with itself then, because even that now one of the reasons why we did it yesterday, for make we look at the topography and assess the area so that we were able to come up with suggestions then.
Okay.
And we don't make observations them, and we see the people already around them prone to disaster. Wow. If the government not intervene quick.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Bangura.
Yes. In relation to this question we ask, Freetown is made up of hills and valleys and plains. So because of that, you go take and say like almost most side in Freetown prone to disaster.
Okay.
Because when you look at even the flats, like where you take Pandemba Road now, where you take them from like St. John, you can take Pandemba Road. Go take Cotton Tree. Them places and they now flat then. In geography, then they call them some of them places and they call them raised beaches. Now like where the ground go down there, now like as a beach of old. But as the sea they go beyond, now so in they come up the land they become recovered. Like if you go like around Atlantic and Alumni, some of them side and they tell them the day where back in the late 90s, tide been the candy. But now the sea don't kind of retreat small, we don't allow them place and they for dry. So if any condition they will go make water come up na them places and they flood back. So even like the low lying area they will go think say they safe prone to risk. So Freetown as a city of its own, Now that are the conditions we will get there. I don't know if Salim gets something for
Yes,
that.
if I want to add something to that, probably we family will be surprised if I talk of tsunami, because they're not already heard about tsunami in places like Philippines, China, those far
Japan.
Southeast Asia kind of areas then. But we are not prone to tsunami. And then some scientists then will say, yeah, but this kind part of the world is tectonically stable, relatively. On the sea, we know they get volcanic activities and all of that. Yes, but we get places in Africa like places like Cape Verde, okay? Not far from Cape Verde, and they get underwater volcanic activity. So some scientists then may not do a calculation.
Excuse me, we also situation I can call we have a stable plate.
Yes.
Yes, we get a stable plate because then a craton, but a being on craton not means say they get tremor.
Okay.
Because if something activity happen at your neighboring country, the tremor because the earth sit down on a molten rock. So now like way you put something on top water. If you shake the water, anyhow the ship heavy, ship can heavy no matter how heavy. If the solar water the wave come, it put on down. So now so the earth. So if you want to shake, depending how you do now, so you feel the intensity of the shake. So if say an underwater volcano happen at places like Cape Verde, even if under sea, some scientists are not do calculations say if a tsunami wave rise there, it will take 2.5 hours exactly for reach Freetown. So most people they not even know that aspect there. So we have blessing like we're there on a very good beach. We get beautiful beaches and all of that, but these are some of the advantages there. But now, not only for the mainland Freetown, now the places then where they around the mangrove areas.
Yeah.
Places like the deep water, people then feel in the backfield, they are not backfilling, they are not causing more trouble than solution. Because in the force the water. So if the tsunami wave come, where we talk about tsunami family level, they talk of wave way higher than 10 meters. So they talk of like an of garage. Then at the wave in height. So we say they go down, you're not talking of escape. So it's 2.5 hours. Now considering the early warning system of Freetown, when they go down inform people and people don't listen to radios, not everybody watch TV, not everybody even watch mobile text messages at the same time. Which way we will communicate to people say in 2.5 hours you need to evacuate. Okay, so the hope say it not go happen because every country in the world, including America, they get disaster. So we're not going to say we will be free from disaster, but it will be good for many people and go aware as these are some of the things where it will happen when in the build in specific areas. So then will be more affected than the people who are on the relatively high grounds.
As a professional body, Mr. Silla, when eventually when I get for come to a report, I don't know whether when a report get for capture aspect of early warning where you just they talk about and also the coordination mechanism for inform the government what next to do as a way of helping them.
Yes, actually we even today I've been in at ONS and just as an observer, and I observe say the coordination is very good when it comes to the relief and distribution and also probably documenting disaster. The coordination is there, but waiting them we want to know like I admire the mayor being particularly being emphasized say we don't just want to look at short-term solutions, we want to also look at mechanism wherein we can prevent these things. So if you want to prevent disease, you need to know what in the cause the disease. If you eradicate that, then probably it will assist you for mitigate. You cannot stop it, but it will mitigate it. So in that lag, we see there is a whole lot of coordination. Probably we just need for put some particular professionals then for do specific professional jobs because they see say get a lot of overlaps. Just listening there today, we see say get overlaps because one example, EP was talking of them will go register one place, but definitely if the government already gets an institution where they're in charge of registration, so you will expect say if anybody need any information for just call and say we want how many people live in this house, they're supposed to have it. So those kind of things not really supposed to be headache. So I'm really like surprised that some of these things you get such some overlap. But not only saying that the people in the can, because probably we in the country, the very institutions they need to try for explain to the people and say, we have this information. So you can get database for the whole country, but if the people then know say you not get it. So I will go spend another 100,000 for let them go count just now Krube, where somebody else get the data where government already pay for. So it's waste of resource. So now those kind of things somebody need for put together. But I think say the government really OMS can put some really good mechanism in place for coordinate those things.
Mr. Bangura, over time we don't make a lot of attributions to deforestation as another cause. That gets any bearing again to some of the things and how we explain so, and what we the witness as disasters.
Yes.
The destruction of the forest cover.
The destruction of the forest cover gets a major influence on some of them things that we see, because once you remove the soil cover, where the rain come, it wash all the soil away, it creates silt, and then silt then they, and then sand then they. Now then they go block gutter. But when the forest cover they, you find out say then trees and then they hold the dirty together, where like they stop the water for can go. And also what in trees and they do is that then they hold the water in the trunk then they release and gradually into the soil. Like you find out say a lot of construction work now where they go now this country, Sierra Leoneans they don't like concrete. Any house we build all side with concrete. Once you don't create then concrete then you increase the overland flow. Because that water they will be the can first thing. If grass been there, the grass they suck that water they grow. That grass they about 50 to 60% of now water. So that whole way they hold that water they kind of preserve them, they release them into the environment small where they stop waiting with the see so right now. So like if at all now you they ask if deforestation a cause to some of them things they are what they see, it's very, very obvious. What the rains and they can right now, if you go out now the gutter, then the water they dirty. And then dirty then now because the trees they will be they hold the soil together, we don't pull them. Because of several reasons. And once you don't pull them, the soil don't become loose for the water was and can go down.
The question that he puts now to the president, the formation of sludge, we don't see over the years, even if now small thing where government want undertake, what they can do, they turn to Europe and America, going in search of experts. This thing will happen so. They will tell you, say, we can go America, we'll get some American man for can't tell we what really happened, the cause of action and all the rest of it. How sludge no reposition themselves for ensure say we lessen the burden on the government for say anything will happen, we need for reference and go get an expert out of the country for come and tell we what really they happen. When we get the expertise, we get to your brothers and sisters. When an expert in the subject matter for tell we what really happened. See the move on I take yesterday. So the question is, how sludge the reposition himself for become, well not only better recognized because the challenges are still there, but how selflessly one can help for contribute.
Yeah, Dan, a very good question. In fact, for make we go really position we self towards that, they work very hard for make we will get a bill legislated through parliament, because we don't set up a system wherein we vet professionals then we for make you go practice as a geoscientist, we get for don't vet you, and if you break some of those rules we delete you and you know go practice as a geoscientist, because we get several instances wherein all sorts of people on consultants right now for example mining companies then, and in the law in these people in, but then they give them wrong professional advice, fake geological report and all of these things. And when the bad name can say the geologists, they are not all geologists. So some of these things we want to avoid that. But I believe say the government very much aware say then get professionals in country, because majority of Sierra Leoneans they will then get professional knowledge. Now government give them scholarships, so I go be very surprised if they don't know who those people are. But it's just the African mentality, like people coming from Ghana are better than Sierra Leone, even if they just graduate last year, so it's just that African mentality. You go to Liberia the same way, just say things is until if you come out Louis say go better part the Liberia man. So that's just African. But all we know say a geologist, doesn't matter where you pull on the world, you know we ever know the geology of Sierra Leone past we the Sierra Leonean geologists. That is impossible. because we take several number of years for study we own geology, then say take several number of years for study, then say then you own geology in the own country. Okay, so if you can, you need me, then need we. So even if government car with them, now we again then we'll go meet for make we share our knowledge with them. But unfortunately, we are not recognized, but then we'll pay other people so many thousands of dollars. But if we say right now, make government buy one specific equipment and gear into slick, we'll be able to do so much work for save government $1 million, they will not do it.
Oh,
So,
Mr. Silla, again, we don't see the point to say we our professional advice should have been better required in that direction. You remember, say, the government of Sierra Leone of recent, the suspend, I'm sure is coming back, the resumption of it is coming, when they undertake the airborne survey for, I don't know whether the need now for identify the deposit of minerals around the country. We expect, say, the SLEEGE as a body for them help for advice adequately the government for undertake that key exercise. Because over and above we see where that plane they fly below, they come at a very low level, they fly, hover around people, you know, it's so scary.
yeah, well, actually, that means since now World Bank funding, probably the government just feels we take an opportunity for that of it. But also you have the enemy where they get geological survey, where they have now professionals them in geosciences. In fact, they are also member of our group. So amongst we the geoscientists that we get we own individual views, we might not be the same as the geological surveys. We of course we and then don't they discuss that at different forum. They don't have problems with that because they know say that's science. People have forget views as long as your facts are clear. Well, the only problem with that is the Aeromark definitely is a game changer if hopefully the result is what we expect.
Okay.
But generally, aeromagnetic surveys are not like 100% say they expect what you they get. The only thing I don't talk to a couple of people even higher places, and there's a whole lot of misconceptions that probably enemy go need for clear than they say after aeromagnetic survey no means we will know, like I don't hear a couple of speeches, we will know how much diamond get, we know how much gold we get to know side and day, if I will not even get exploration license and mining license, those things are completely not true. And so it will be disappointing to so many people for say what the result can then find out say well you get for go do exploration for the same thing again. It's not the first time we don't do aeromagnetic survey in Asalo. I said this actually do 75% of Sierra Leone. The only difference is SL this now you call them the grid line and very smaller, so because of that the resolution higher. So we expect for like a better result. But many people they not just feel say well aeromagnetic survey done today because they feel like for the geological survey they are my friends, my colleagues, we work together. I will feel like make people then go think say well who say all the gold in on I can't tell we. That would be very unfair for them, you know, because it's just a airborne survey.
Okay. Mabin say, I don't know, when I get any challenges and SLEEGE, I believe so I need for jump over for Mekuna become a very formidable body.
Of course, we get so many challenges. One of the challenges that we've faced, a major one, is like, for make we build personal parliament. We're very important because if then
but you get a deputy minister of mines when a geologist.
Yes, of course, but not there in town now.
Okay.
So in for the one with itself, but it go out of country because of again your personal issues.
Okay.
But I should say when come you go join we for make we build pass.
Mr. Bangura, again I take you to the question of landslides. Somebody can suggest we get so many type of landslides. You look at what we call the earth flow, the debris slides, the shallow landslide, the debris flow, all of these put together. Are they of distinct but you know, they get any common point of commonality?
Well, yeah, they get a point of commonality. We can call them mass wasting.
Okay.
Than at the general term.
At the general term.
Yes, but when you come to the specifics now, you look at what happen. If the substance too dry, then go get one name.
Okay.
If it muddy, then go call it a mudslide. Then go call am soil creep. If you go slowly, because like soil creep it can happen, but e no dey cause havoc. Like you go find out say if this pole been don tinapia, after a day you find out say e go don stretch, especially through the lines then. Then you go see inside the you go reach a day the cable and the cut. Then when e cut, you dey find out say displacement don take place. Then now they don make you don know say some movement dey happen na. But depending on the gradient of the land, you dey find out say e no go be destructive. Some day wey go dey happen very slowly, but e dey happen. So na just like then different terms and they make them give them then different name then, from soil from landslide to soil creep to mudslide to any other different names wey dem dey give them. But na just like the general term we get for geology and geoscience na mass wasting. Because once you say mass wasting, then like the movement of a huge volume of land, of geological material from one region to another. Wetin go trigger and now wetin dey move, na that now go make them get and then different names and
Okay.
And also you get people from different scientific areas then go dey call this one name, while the other one name go dey call another other name, depending on wetin happen.
I no go actually want prompt for make una tell me wetin are the lasting solutions to the Motome Mount Sugarloaf, right? What you need for do as a nation for remedy that particular situation there. We'll go wait hold with breath until una present una finding to government, then we can take away it will be out for public consumption. But Mr. Silla, people them often can say volcanic eruption, like you talk of earthquake, like you talk of tremor. Are they all different?
Yes, they're all different. Volcanic eruption basically, they happen all over the world. You get specific areas that what we call active zones, and we call them molten rocks. The rock way, like I've been on talk earlier, say the wall itself is on top. Other rocks themselves melt. So because they melt, then they look for road for come out. So when they see road for come out, now that road in the common then can flow out. Now we call volcanic activity. So earthquake can also happen because of volcanic activity.
Okay.
So if they say earthquake, the example I will give people for people that were older than 20 years during the war, we bomb for them, maybe not really for them the area, but the ground they shake.
Okay.
So now in a quake, that's shaking.
Okay.
So the tremor, it can maybe na Shelly for the like Alpha Jebin he bomb na share. People then they all the way in a PZ and beyond them feel the tremor, that shake. So now and they don't mean say we earthquake no happen na Salon, sometimes if it happen na Guinea or even Ghana will not go feel like if it heavy will they still feel an also. If we facilities are not that strong, it will also get an impact on we. But fortunately, those things that will be very difficult for like happen now, but we still continue to get small tremors like what they happen na Motomeso. Unfortunately, sadly also, when landslide occur in any area, you forget what we call recurring landslides.
Wow.
So it will be 10, 15, 20 years, but it continue for the happen. Even yesterday, what we did at the spot, we get signs of slide. Because when landslide happen, you get certain indicators there. One, look at the trees. In fact, for we people in general when they live in those kind of places, so now also go to look at them trees, then coconut tree, even pawpaw tree. Just go to observe. If you see it don't begin ling, go watch. If not to move, then they eat the root. If you notice say not to tumbu, not to any animal they eat the root, begin they get yourself prepared for commodity. That meaning it give you an indication say movement is taking place. So when we go there yesterday, we observed a lot of trees already leaning. So it's just a matter of time. It could be this year, it could be next year, but there is going to be another slide. But like I said, not one for preempt.
Now we get the official.
We report, but definitely we landscape, we geology also. Now Freetown also they add to that. The nature of geology, people then go surprised. Freetown and get the youngest geology na Salon. We get what we call the sedimentary. Okay, we talk of the actual igneous rock. The Freetown are very young, relatively.
Okay.
you know, because we get the gabbroid complex. So in your nature of in your geology itself, the rock now are different from the rock na Kabbalah.
Okay. Let bring us back to another area where I feel say on a contribution very much important. We don't see also some non-governmental organizations and can come with the aim of supporting local native in some districts and chiefdoms. When they can come, they can do some needs assessment. But the point is, so I can tell you, say we want water well. But when they can go forward dig the water well, they can spend a lot of money. But just after some years, you can see that water did run dry. Una geologists now, una get what una call confined and unconfined aquifer. Am I right, Mr. Bangura? I feel say they can sort una views them, advice for undertake some key exercise for inform the spot usai perhaps una get what una call confined aquifer.
Yeah, well, like we get hydrogeologists then.
Okay.
Well, like then are their own specialty that one day.
Like Dr. Mustafa Nawan.
Yes, they will also get young one then we don't graduate.
Okay.
We actually know the stuff, and they know the soil test then, they know the surveys them, they know the magnetic surveys them or the seismic surveys they wouldn't be able to do or IP surveys them for let them know if water they underground than a one. Then if that water they able last for long, and then they be able to estimate the volume of the water and the water table. Like some of them NGOs that we can come, sometimes the challenge we them can face, you get something they call the water table, where now like the level where the water they at the time. If you notice, the one where they dig them local well, then very very smart, because then they dig them well, then March April, where the water table the lowest. So then and when they intercept water, rainy season the water just they come up. But like from a small experience with some NGOs, the fact is because of the budget, the arrangement, like now, so if somebody go dig water well, you know they go past 1 or sometimes 2 or 3 meters. You don't meet water.
Yes.
So you go assume say you don't reach the water table. Then once dry season reach, that well they go dry. So if you look at that one day, now some of the challenges they know and they so like if at all like the NGOs and they face with them issues and they water well and they dry, sometimes some of them things and they when you go dig water well in the middle of the rains for tie up to sometimes you program of activities.
Okay, Mr. Sila, you got anything for that?
Yes, and that not only common to water well, it also cross disciplines, and they also lead to a lot of losses for investments as well as the nation as a whole, jobs. Because one thing we they fail for understand is closure plan. When you get job, investment can a lot of people don't get job, people then don't settle their life, they don't plan. So me at the left free they go relocate and like all of a sudden the job done. So if you look at even the agricultural sector as well, like places for this sugar cane, places they call ADAX, you know why not do well? Because they do a whole lot of international studies, surveys and all of these things. But you will get students from Jalawi will tell you say this place sugar cane doesn't do well. But they will not listen to them because a salon is study. Yeah, it just doesn't do well. Not how much you spend. If it doesn't do well, they are going to look other places where they do well. And so maybe these are some of the things the government need for do empower. The government need for the Ministry of Labor need for get a system wherein they will empower local professionals them. And although we also need for bring ourselves up to speed to international level and modern and standard, but the government also need for support because they car with geologists from Ghana, we graduate in 2 years, and they pay and pass the geologists where you go down work as alone for 10 years when I in the teacher. But that's the law. That's nobody really prevent you. And if you go na Ghana and you want job, it's almost impossible. Okay, so you get a whole lot of processing. Recently, I go to Zimbabwe. You get a lot of Zimbabwe where they work na Sierra Leone. But then system for make you go employ a foreign geologist in the industry is so difficult that you know go even want for do one. This is the point. I go Namibia as well. Then get a system. You want our exploration, a senior geologist of 10 years. Then they don't have problem. Okay, but in you company, you already get a geologist the way you get at least 7 year experience. Yes, okay. So if they come, okay, that means say this person, they will pass 3 years because that other person will on 10 years. So by right, if you go after 3 years, you're going because you have 10 years experience, and we have in Namibia and there is 7 years experience. So why you don't? We don't need you after 3 years because these other guys they go don't get 10 years because I'm not gonna count with them because when they want count people, they say yeah, it's the number of years. Okay, what number of years? You get 11 years. Okay, well this alone and only 10 years, fine. That means after 1 year, if you go. Because now 11 years make una cut and this guy now is 11 years. So they need for protect the local industry. Otherwise, government invest a lot in scholarships, SLG, and all of these. I have people finishing; they don't even have jobs.
Okay, and imagine conclusively. We're not seeing forget much time again, Mr. Silla. Now we end on the formation of the SLIG. Perhaps the answer we government still not able to get. We will not face this persistent challenge getting the bill through Parliament. Now, SLIG being a parallel body to the National National and Mineral Advisory Board, and the NME. I will just imagine that then guy John believe say we not come for can't take the job.
Yeah, well, actually, fortunately, majority of the people at places like NMA, they're also member of SLIG. In fact, just last week we get a very fruitful meeting with the new DG. We himself now one of the sponsors of SLIG because SLIG will get sponsors, will get corporate institutions, then they pay as a corporate leg, then they pay for everybody. So he was doing that even before he became the DG. So we go the he give a whole lot of support and we discussion with even empower we a little bit because like we one for kind of like discourage how long we don't run behind for get this bill through parliament when you get non-professional institutions like having their bill going through, but why not us? So we've been finally very discouraging, but unfortunately we can only go through the Ministry of Mines because if you look at the geoscience practice we for align ourselves with them. So the current minister, we don't make an appointment, but I believe so we can go meet him, but we don't meet the DJ, don't give we what, say we're not getting it out because we not stand for we before now. So now they're in a position for even stand with we now. Now he's not standing for, he's standing with us and move this thing through, hopefully, so we'll get that done.
Okay, Madam Amin, so what will be your own call to a membership?
Well, I ask for make people within a different professional field when a geoscientists make them come on board, make them cooperate, because without collaboration we not go able to move forward. So I call on everybody we belong to any professional field when a geoscientist may just show face already. We SLIG ready for welcome them.
Okay. Mr. Bangura, I don't know whether geology the geologists gets any meeting point with engineers. You talk something we just occur to me where you see people they like for build na Freetown way then they build with concrete. Then they block the waterway. When it can the water they find itself over. How I can coordinate on affairs with the Institute of Engineers for ensure say not able advice from a professional point, because let's FK undertake a kind of structural engineering. It can go bad, especially so if they not meet with them for una own advice, while una self gets those are the parallel functions. When I get any meeting point.
Yeah, well, even like at the university, you get course then you get engineering geology, they get mining engineering.
Okay.
So even at university, you find out say the linkages they exist between the engineers and the geologists.
Okay.
So like we just need a point for the collaborate in with professional fields for some of them things there. Like people building in places wherein you already know say a settlement get for take place there, or say the geology of this place now expanding place you get now if una they make road now if una not rethink una make this road they get for the poil again. So I believe say now then collaboration and they know more we need, and I believe say like them platform there this information sharing where we don't start, especially on media, it will create the avenue then there for synergy between we and the engineers for long move the country go before.
What's it gonna be I will start with you. What thing will be on a call to residents at Motome for now? What's they look out for signs of dangers and how for able make them prevent themselves from any possible occurrence?
Well, like me first advice what I go give, I believe say ONS we don't mark some zones there where them they say they not safe. I believe say sometime at the start of this year then we don't do some compensation there. Let the people they not allow let people then go involved there again or even involved in activities then at them place then they, because some of them place then they not go leave there. But if they go begin broke stone day back, then they still make the place unstable. And also let them get an early warning system in which if they notice anything unusual like waiting and do so, let them inform the appropriate authorities then the authorities they also let them get a system maybe in other areas and they in which there could be like a point of call, will be to say if anything happen way unusual and I don't hear anything unusual, when I call this person so that this person go know side for call. Now we get social media, we get WhatsApp way very very much common among Sierra Leoneans.
Yes.
If we set up an early warning system like that one, they will keep them very very well. It will able to save a lot of lives from disaster or from pending disaster.
I don't begin imagine what will be one of the recommendations to ONS. Mr. Silla, honestly, I hope for engage members of the SLIG on one consideration. One thing we don't they go on we still don't get any insight into this thing they call seaweed. What really they cause them. We don't get different interpretation. Somebody can tell you say the most prevalent explanation can tell you say somebody they do underground mining in the country. Whoa, no. Could that be right? I don't have an answer. So many people are left baffled. We will turn to una the professional body for me actually tell me where did they bring seaweed? Where the scent is so awful where they smell them. But I'm not sure so we get time into that. What's it gonna be you call to people in the Motome area and regions?
Yes, so actually my call will go to the government because human being in particular with first principle is self. So nobody no go want come out to say day. So that's very obvious. And government, whether it's the government doing this year or next year, but definitely there is going to be a political consequence for those actions. But you need to forget somebody where you go say, okay, damn with the consequences. What will they do now? People will appreciate it next year. Whether not this year they will appreciate it in 2020. Do it in 2020 and will appreciate it in 2021. That is in the interest of the people. Because definitely people will continue to die. Places like Mabela and these places, it's been a very long time. You know, once you start to see what we call slow water color the change. You know, I get one my boss day from a British man. One day he say he come there rainy season. I say in the time in the can salon then 60s. He said that water the every rainy season say been clean. So me they surprised why the water for dirty. So you get a whole lot of things. Once you don't begin to see those, now signs say things don't change. So government need for decide for take action regardless of the political consequence. So I believe say most people understand what I mean.
Okay. Well, before I tell you that, thank you. Let's just bring. I get a press release here from the National Social Security and Insurance Trust, NASIT. NASIT they call on the general public, especially the esteemed members them, for inform they say the heavy downpour of rain on Friday 2nd August 2019 don't adversely affect the office way located at 139 C. Wilkes Road, Freetown. As a result of this, the management regret for announcing all operations in that office have been suspended with immediate effect. But however, members of the scheme, customers and the general public are advised to visit the regional office west located at the former pastoral post building back of Big Market, while it's just a street in Freetown. Meanwhile, the management regret any inconvenience, the temporary suspension of this activity they cause, and turn to the west office for any activity we believe say the scheme the office NASIT need for deal with you, and they assure you that is NASIT of the high quality service at all times. Signed the Director General of NASIT, Mohammed Dabo. Well, now so I bring now the curtain in today's edition of this program, Economic Forum. We have been as my guest Salim Silla, winner the president. Abubakar Bangura, na the head of research committee, and Mabintu Sisi, head of the membership committee. They all come up from the Sierra Leone Institution of Geo-Scientists, when a corporate body registered with corporate affairs, na Syke Street here, so they get right for actually exists. On this note, I want to tell you all, thank you for spending the time for being part of this program, sir.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Till then, my name is Abdul Rahman Kama.